Welcome to this very special edition of Interview with me, Costa Mwansa. Now, tonight we look at the historical relationship between the neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo and our country, Zambia. Congo has been at war for decades, dating back from the years of late President Laurent Kabila, who his son, former President Joseph Kabila, took over. And at that particular moment, there was hope for the people of Congo in that peace and democracy would have been restored. It was only late last year in 2018 that the Congo saw some elections which some would describe as fair, some not, that saw the election of new President Felix Tshisekedi, who has now been elected and is throwing an olive branch to all his political enemies and allies. And now there's still hope for the people of Congo. My guest is former Zambia intelligence chief, Mr. Xavier Chungu, who joins me to discuss this very important issue. It's a pleasure to have you and welcome to this interview.
Bienvenue, je suis Constant Mwansa. Ce soir, on jette un coup d'œil sur l'histoire des relations entre notre voisin le Congo et notre pays, la Zambie. Mon invité est l'ancien chef du renseignement zambien, Monsieur Xavier Chungu.
Let's just quickly take you back to the historical time when late Laurent Kabila took over as president of the DRC and later on his son. Just try to give us a historical perspective, even the current, new president. Where is he coming from historically? The likes of Moise Katumbi. I mean, you were there when the leading opposition candidate then, Laurent Kabila, became president. We are now being told of stories where former President Kabila is branding Katumbi a Judas Iscariot, that he could not allow him to participate in the election last year. Really, the likes of Katumbi and the Tshisekedis, what role have they played, more especially Katumbi?
Rentrons à l'époque où feu Mzee Laurent Désiré Kabila a pris le pouvoir. Vous étiez là. Et quel est le rôle joué à l'époque par Katumbi, aujourd'hui traité de Judas par le président sortant?
I'm glad that I can talk about this issue. At least I've been there and I know the real problem between Moses and the outgone president of the Congo. Moses cannot be underrated in the amount of support that he gave to the father of the former president, Laurent Désiré Kabila.
J'étais là et je connais le réel problème entre Moïse et le président sortant. Moïse ne devrait pas être sous-estimé par rapport au niveau de l'appui qu'il a donné au père de l'ancien président, Laurent Désiré Kabila.
I and the late president, Dr. Chiluba, prevailed strongly on Moses, who was living in Zambia then, to try and give up support to Laurent Désiré Kabila's push for to get into power. They didn't have anything. They didn't have anything. And Moses had everything they needed in the warehouses in Lubumbashi. These are things that he's been trading to the mines. Their family, they have always had business with the Jeka mines in the Congo for many years.
L'ancien président Chiluba et moi ont fortement convaincu Moïse, qui vivait à l'époque en Zambie, de soutenir Mzee Kabila pour qu'il accède au pouvoir. Parce qu'il n'avait rien, et Moïse Katumbi avait tout ce dont ils avaient besoin, à partir des ressources dont ils disposaient à partir de ces business avec les mining, dont j'ai camine pour de très nombreuses années.
So we had to ask him to abandon that program and sacrifice for the time being, with a promise that he was going to be paid back the money.
Nous lui avions demandé de se sacrifier, et il a obtenu la promesse que son argent serait remboursé.
And indeed, he gave Laurent Désiré Kabila everything that they wanted. We are talking about supplies that could amounted to more than $20 million. But he had to agree because President Chiluba had a lot of influence on Moses.
Il a en effet donné à Laurent Désiré Kabila tout ce dont il avait besoin. Nous parlons ici des interventions chiffrées à plus de 20 millions de dollars américains. Il a dû accepter par l'insistance du président Chiluba.
And so it happened. And they got into power. I remember at one time, I think, I can't remember the month exactly, but I was sent to Kinshasa because Moses had asked President Chiluba, it's time now to have my money paid back. So Dr. Chiluba sent me to see President Laurent Desire Kabila, and I was assured that he was going to be given all his money. He was given a very, very little amount of money that very day, and but the rest of the money, Moses has always told me, has never been paid back to him.
Ils ont pris le pouvoir. Le président Chiluba m'a envoyé à Kinshasa pour récupérer l'argent de Moïse. J'ai vu le président Laurent Désiré Kabila. Il m'a assuré qu'il paierait l'intégralité de l'argent. Le même jour, il m'a remis une très petite somme sur le total. Mais le reste de l'argent, comme me l'a toujours certifié Moïse, n'a jamais été remboursé.
So these assertions that of late come out, in various, aspects of the media that Moses Katumbi only amassed his wealth at the time he served as governor, and none before that. But what would be your take on such assertions?
Et comment se fait-il qu'il y a ces infos comme quoi Moïse ne se serait enrichi que grâce à son poste de gouverneur? Quelle est votre réaction?
First, I would think it's very unfair to people to allude that President Joseph Kabila could have made that statement. Because I think President Joseph Kabila knows Moses very well. He knows where they're coming from with Moses. He knows that Moses was a big boy. He had a lot of money. He knows that Moses sustained them with his father. So I don't think it's Joseph Kabila could have said that. Maybe some other people.
C'est très injuste que les gens attribuent cette affirmation au président Kabila. Parce que je sais qu'il connaît très bien Moïse. Il sait d'où ils viennent avec Moïse. Il sait que Moïse était extrêmement riche. Il sait que Moïse les a supportés, son père et lui. Ainsi, je ne pense pas que de telles affirmations pourraient venir de Joseph Kabila, peut-être de quelqu'un d'autre.
Moses has contributed sufficiently, not only to the war for that matter, even when it came to campaigning to propagate the name of Joseph Kabila after the death of his father. Moses played a very, very big role. If it wasn't for Moses, I think our president in the Congo would have had difficulties in certain areas.
Moïse a suffisamment contribué, non pas seulement pour la guerre, mais aussi durant le temps de campagne électorale qui a conduit Kabila au pouvoir après la mort de son père. Moïse a joué un très grand rôle. N'eût été cela, Kabila aurait eu des difficultés certaines.
Finally, do you see, Mr. Chungu, hope now for the Congo with new President Tshisekedi and the path he has taken, releasing, political prisoners? We are told that in the likes of Katumbi that we make mention of, he had his passport, revoked. It has now been handed, back to him. Do we see peace and, hope and more democracy being restored to the Congo?
Voyez-vous de l'espoir en Félix Tshisekedi en termes de paix et de démocratie en RDC?
I think we all should have a lot of hope for now, because the young man that has taken precedence in the Democratic Republic of the Congo comes from a house of very strong democratization, very strong spirit of democracy, very strong spirit of liberties for people. His father, the late Etienne Tshisekedi Wamulumba, has been the longest opposition leader in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And all along, I think his fight was for the freedoms of the people, the rights of the people, democracy for the Congo, and through until he died. At the time he died, he was actually leading the delegation to negotiate for the rights of the people in the Congo. The current president is a child amongst many in the household of Mr. Tshisekedi Wamulumba. Most of them have been in Europe. He has lived with his father for most of that time when his father has been fighting politics in the Congo. So you were talking about a person who should have a lot of experience a lot of experience in terms of politics. You're talking about somebody who should have a lot of feeling for the people of the Congo, you know. And I'm not surprised that the first thing he does was to free those people who've been unfairly incarcerated. You know, the first thing he wants to look at is to have all his friends he's been with in this dispensation to come back to the Congo so that they can work together as what they call Bana Congo, to work together to create the Congo that is going to give hope, that's going to give peace, that's going to allow for all the Congolese to enjoy the wealth that they sit on.
Nous devrions avoir de l'espoir parce que Félix vient d'une culture grandement démocratique depuis sa famille, à partir même de son père, dont le combat était dédié au peuple jusqu'à sa mort. Il a donc beaucoup d'expérience et une vraie connexion avec le peuple du Congo. Je ne suis pas surpris qu'il ait libéré les prisonniers politiques, par exemple. Il devrait aussi donc gagner en ayant tous ses amis de retour au pays pour travailler ensemble, pour créer un Congo d'espoir et de paix et où tout le monde profiterait de nombreuses richesses du pays.